Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Lil My Talks with Vicky P. Y'all, it is Friday. It's been a week since, well, I ain't even gonna say a week. It's been more than a week since I last recorded because last week your girl was under the weather, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all in my business because God keep telling me to put y'all in my business. So last week I didn't record because your girl was a little bit under the weather. Like y'all, my back was hurting so bad from Wednesday night up until like Sunday. My back was hurting so freaking bad, y'all. And it was a gas bubble. Like I just had to go defecate in a nutshell. Like, let's just go ahead and get it out the way. But y'all, come Thursday and Friday, I had tried everything that I could for trap gas. Like your girl had this prune juice, baking soda, warm water, gas drops. No, not gas drops, gas relief pills or whatever. Gas pills, hot tea, warm water by itself, a heating pad. I soaked in some Epsom salt, and y'all, none of that helped me. Like, none of it. Like, your girl was still, like, going through it. Like, whew, child. I could like it was hurting so bad I couldn't move my back like moving like all of this baby I couldn't even do that like y'all I literally had to get up using my arm strength to pull me up like y'all oh man stressed okay auntie was stressed but it ain't nothing that God can handle so anyway so come Saturday so that was Thursday and Friday what I did that come Saturday morning like at like 3 in the morning. Oh, baby, I called my cousin boo-hoo crying, y'all. I was hurting so bad. I called my cousin crying, and they was like, yeah, it might be more than trap gas if you done tried all that. And you still hurting and you crying and can't move. So, y'all, come Saturday, I go to the ER. I go to the ER. They like, you're fine. Your vitals came back fine. Your urine came back fine. Y'all did an x-ray on me. And they did something where it's like, in case you go to the hospital and you have to get an x-ray, they put something in your IV. I forget what they said it's called, but they put something in your IV and it's supposed to highlight your organs inside of the x-ray. Y'all, that thing made my inside so warm. Like, I don't know. I felt like my little lady part was about to fall out on the table because it was warm. Like the inside of me was warm. Like I don't know, but yeah, no. So yeah, but that's what I get because I hadn't been eating right for the past few days because the girl been on go. Like I've been on go. If I wasn't doing Uber, I was with Ava. If I went with Ava, I was doing homework. If I wasn't doing homework, I was doing videos. If I wasn't doing videos, I was getting my house in order. If I wasn't getting my house in order, I was being a vessel for somebody else. So it was a lot going on, and I wasn't really taking the time to actually sit there and cook meals like I usually would. So I was like grabbing fast food, grabbing food from the gas station, and that's what messed me up. Like you can eat them foods, but make sure you come back with it with a green, like a green vegetable that helps with your digestive system. So came Sunday, y'all, all I ate was cabbage, 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 and then I chopped some turkey sausage up and I put it in there too. So I had cabbage, turkey sausage, cornbread, a lot of water and like a little bit put this on silent and a little bit of ginger ale that helps settle my stomach because with that I definitely it got your girl right. You got your girl right. But aside from that, I had to go ahead and get that out the way to tell y'all what's going on with your girl why y'all didn't get no episode in the past week because I was going through it on my recording days. Like but anyway, we back, we better, we blessed, we highly favored. Amen. We are good to go now. So let me give y'all a little rundown of my outfit. So first, the girl got this. I don't even know what this is called. But your girl got this on her wrist because I've been driving a lot because I do Uber for work, obviously. But it's about to be the first of the month. It's about to be Thanksgiving. So your girl has been trying to rack up that money because it actually is the holiday season too. So a lot of people have actually started getting their Christmas trees and stuff. So yeah, we got that on so we can have a preventative measure, okay? And y'all, while I'm driving, I actually switch from arm to arm. Like I wrap it around real tight. That way my arm don't my not my arm. My wrist doesn't feel like too loose and too achy and stuff. So it prevents it from having aches, okay? Now, into the outfit. This beautiful dress that hugs my body really nicely. And I'm gonna show y'all some pictures of me in this dress. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already seen this dress. It's from the late night shoot. Okay. So this dress is from a woman's design boutique along with this clover necklace. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm probably gonna zoom in on it. This clover necklace as well as this clover. I actually want it like that, as well as this clover bracelet. Okay, so this dress, necklace, and bracelet, all three are from a woman's design boutique. And as in the last video, I will leave her description. Well, not her description. I'll leave the link to the Instagram profile in the description for her so that you guys can go and get you a dress, get you a necklace, get you a bracelet, whatever she has in stock so y'all can see because I actually did get this in the summertime. So this is from the summer collection. So I'll actually leave the description so y'all can go ahead and start shopping for y'all's fall stuff and y'all's winter stuff. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think she's already restocked for fall, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure if she started for winter just yet, but I know for a fact she started with fall because she had these cute cardigans that I really wanted, but they're sold out. So, but that's okay. So yeah, make sure y'all go check out her Instagram, check out the website from the Instagram so that y'all can get y'all some too. Okay. And as far as my head and my hair goes, this is a wig. Now, y'all, I'm really over wearing wigs. Like, I don't want to wear wigs no more. Like, a little backstory. In 2019, I used to refuse to wear a wig. I refused to wear a wig. Like, I would only get a closure, and then when I got a closure, I would get it sewed in. Like, like a traditional sew in, but with the closure. Okay. Because I didn't want my hair to actually be out. Now, over the course of the years, I would say probably in 2022, I would say probably in 2022, that's when I got my very first wig. And that is this wig right here. It's not the best, but it's not the absolute worst either because I didn't pay that much for it. And I actually got it from Amazon and it still gets the job done. Like, long as it do what I needed to do, that's all I need. Okay. But I'm slowly growing back to the point where it's like I don't want to wear a wig. I really don't want to wear colored wigs either. Like I have a burgundy wig that I absolutely loved when I first got it. I still wear that wig sometimes, but it's like I don't really want to wear it anymore because I want to present myself as a more modest woman. You get what I'm saying? Like a more classy, professional, all the time type of woman. So that burgundy wig is not that bad, but it doesn't actually give like I can go into an interview and they'll be like, oh, okay. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my personal preference. Like it's still cute to me. Like I still love colored wigs and things like that. Like I still love it. I just don't want to wear it for myself, if that makes sense. Okay, one of my neighbors is leaving because I was like, what's that noise? But I think that's really all the updates that I have for y'all right now. Cause lately, only I say lately, I haven't really been doing much of anything. Like I told y'all, Uber, Ava, and homework and work basically. And I listen to I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, taking notes, but that I wouldn't necessarily say that podcasts, but they are podcasts because they people are actually talking like me, but they're centered around God. So even when I'm watching podcasts and things, it's centered around God. So I'm taking notes on that. Like actually on the phone that I'm recording on right now, I have like none of my notes but strictly sermon and podcast notes. And I use that to help me get through my weeks. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to jump right into our topics now that we are all caught up. Okay. All right. So, okay. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about maturity, communication, and accountability. Okay. Now, I would say, as far as maturity goes, well, you know better, you do better. Okay. So, even if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or like you're just going with the flow of the motions, once you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to move. You're going to maneuver in that certain way so that you are actually getting the outcomes that you are actually needing. Okay. Because a child puts childish things behind in certain aspects. Like I would say, like I'm still goofy, as y'all can tell. I'm still goofy, and I still like to have fun and like do childish things. But I'm also an adult, so I know how to balance the two. Like there's a time and a place for everything, and I wish more people knew that. Like there's a time when you should be playing. There's a time when you should be taking things serious. There's a time when business is actually needing to be handled, and that is what makes you mature, because a lot of people are not actually mature. And lately I've realized that I am becoming more spiritually mature in my Christ walk. So it makes it hard for me. We're going to jump over back and forth into communication with it too. So with me becoming more mature on my spiritual walk with God, it makes it more difficult for me to have conversations with the people that are currently in my circle, because it's like I'm trying to talk to you about something, but you're taking the wrong perspective. And then when I try to explain it, it's like you don't get where I'm coming from because you're not on the same journey as me. Like you're not on the same walk that I'm on. And y'all never told me that I talk with my hands a lot. That's besides the point. But excuse me, that's besides the point. But yeah, as I mature, I'm realizing that I can't I I won't be able to keep my same circle. So it's like God is taking people away from me one by one, because I see that I can't have these types of conversations with certain people. And then if I do try to have these types of conversations with certain people, it's like we're talking in circles, because it's like circles. Because it's like you're not understanding what I'm saying, and I completely get what you're saying, but my mind is not there anymore. So it's like I get it, but for what God has for me and the walk that He has me on, I can't do that anymore. So it's like at some point, people are going to weed themselves out, or they're either going to get with the program. And to me, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. But no, seriously, y'all, like for real. And when you start going on your walk with God, you have to trust Him. Okay? Trust Him that the people that you have in your life, they were there for a season. Like I would say recently, somebody who I was close to, we had to part ways, because it was like your job is done. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of did hurt my feelings a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt her feelings, you know. G was messed up about that, you know, because I know I'm a thug. I just playing. I'm not a thug. I'm the softest thug you'll ever meet. Y'all, I'm actually really sensitive. Like people think because I have this hard front up, like this wall barrier. Behind this wall, there is a really, really sensitive little girl, okay? Because nobody ever took my sensitivity as that. It was always toughen up. You know, so in result of that, I actually put up a barrier, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about maturity, communication, and accountability. Now, I will go ahead and say this. Yeah, I had to part ways with somebody, and it was like, I'm glad that we did, but at the same time, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But then I started praying to God about it. I was like, okay, I ask you to remove people who are not for me, who are not on the path of your righteousness that lead me closer to you. Now, it kind of messed me up because the person was the one who actually brought me closer to God. So it was like, okay, all right, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like this person brought me to you, and then I had to realize like recently, maybe like with a few days ago, like this week, that was their assignment. And their assignment was done. Their assignment was to get me closer to him because nobody else was really praying with me. Nobody else wasn't telling me to really go to church and do this, that, and the third, because that had actually started a few years ago. So it was like this person was telling me, let's pray, let's do this, and that, and the third. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But now I realized that was strictly their assignment, get me to the doorstep. But it's up to me to walk into the doorstep. And once I got to the doorstep, God snatched that away. Okay. And yeah, for a long time, I was, well, not a long time. I would say a long time. But for a minute, it kind of had me messed up because, like, it was like, why? Why? But you're not supposed to question it. You're just supposed to trust God. So that's what I'm actually learning right now. Like, learning to trust God and everything like that. So, y'all, if y'all can't tell, this podcast is more than likely going to be about my walk with God. Like at first, like in my mind, I was thinking this podcast is going to be about just me talking about random subjects or random stuff. No, baby, this is about my relationship getting closer to God, and then me telling y'all about my relationship getting closer to God. So most topics that we talk about, y'all may think they might be in general, because I thought they was going to be in general when I wrote them down. And yeah, no, they're not going to be in general. They're going to be centered around God and how it's going in my life lately. Okay. But I'm okay with that because as long as I get to live like a pure life and like have a clean heart and a clean mind, like every morning I tell God, please get into my mind before I do. Order my steps within the day before I even like get my day started. Like before I started recording this video, I had already been talking to God because, like, baby, I am nothing without Him, okay? Okay. So, maturity in a nutshell is basically you're going to outgrow some things. You're going to outgrow some things. As you get closer to God, you're going to outgrow some things. And then I listened to a podcast where the pastor was like, getting closer to God comes with the breakup, whether it's relational, like a romantic, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship relationship, an acquaintance relationship, an addiction relationship, anything that you have that seems to be put before God, He's going to make you break up with it. And it's not going to be easy. But name something that is easy without God. Nothing. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Nothing is easy without God. The only way that things become easy is with God. And if you don't have Him, then it's going to be hard as ever to do. Like, I ain't gonna preach to y'all today. Yes, I am. And y'all tuned in, so apparently y'all want to listen to me preach. Thank y'all. But let's move on to communication. Ooh. Now, I will say communication has not always been a strong suit of mine. It was actually a very, very, very huge weakness. Whew. For y'all that don't know, I am actually 28 and I just started learning how to communicate and express my emotions and things probably a year ago, probably a year or two ago. So 26, 27 is when I started learning to communicate, because before, when I would have like these emotions and stuff like that, I wasn't really taught how to express my emotions. So it's like anytime something bothered me, shut down. Anytime something got on my nerves, shut down. Something made me angry, shut down. I don't know what's going on, shut down. And when I say shut down, that means I'm not talking, I'm not looking, I'm not thinking. It's just like my head will be completely clear and I don't want to talk about anything. Like I don't want to see it, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to do none of that. And then I will say that within the past few months, I actually realized that that's been trickled down. That's a generational thing. That is a generational thing. So it was actually inherited from family. And then it also trickled down to Ava. Now, I will say, with me knowing that and actually seeing that and expressing that, I didn't want to be like that because it's like if something bothers me, I need to tell you why it bothers me. Otherwise, you're just going to keep doing it and that's going to piss me off. And I don't want to get pissed off because I think being pissed off is actually a sinful thing. Like, when I think, I know it is a sinful thing because there's actually a scripture on it that and it's basically like those, excuse me, what does it say? It's something like wise ones don't express their angry emotions or something like that. I can't think of it, but it's something like that. Like only fools are quick to anger. You get what I'm saying? So it's like if that bothers you, say what it is that bothers you and how it bothers you, and just have a communication with somebody without actually arguing with them. Now, I will say a lot of people are not going to take that lightly. Some people are like stuck in their ways. They're not going to see it as that. They're going to see it as you being combative, or you're picking an argument. When actually, I'm just trying to tell you what hurt my feelings, why it hurt my feelings, so we can move forward, so that you don't hurt my feelings no more. Because I'm a person like if you continue to hurt my feelings, I'm finna go. I'm finna dip out because I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want that around me because that being around me, it hinders my growth with God. And that's the most important relationship to me in my life as a whole. Because without him, I wouldn't have a relationship with anybody on this earth. So communication. Something bothers you, actually speak on it in a mindful tone. I cannot stress that enough. Speak on it in a respectful tone so that other people understand you. If you're yelling at things like that, they're not gonna listen. Like I told y'all in the last episode, you yelling at me trying to get your point across, baby, I done zoned out as soon as you raised your voice. I don't know what you said, how you said it, when you said it. And at this point I don't care because you're yelling at me. That's not what I do, boo. Don't yell at me. Okay? But yeah, communication. And everybody always like to say communication is key. Communication is a big part, but comprehension is also key too. Because if you're talking and they don't understand where you're coming from, you might as well go stand to a wall and talk to it and look crazy. Because I be talking to myself and I know I be looking crazy, but guess what? I don't be caring because myself be giving me reassurance like, yeah, girl, yeah, you did that. You shouldn't have did that. Da, 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 da. And that also ties into accountability too, but that's our next topic. So yeah, comprehension is also key. Even if you have to break it down to a point where they understand what you're saying, do it. Do it. Do it. Because not everybody understands. So if he's called you higher to actually explain things and talk to people in a certain way, it's your job to do it. Like, and either you're gonna do it or you're not. Because either you're gonna be obedient and he's gonna keep his hand on you, or you're gonna be disobedient and he's gonna take his hand off you and let you hurt your own self. Which is what was happening to me for a long time. Okay. And also, what comes with communication is those uncomfortable conversations. Although you may not want to talk about this stuff, how are you going to, again, how are you going to move past what's been going on? Like, how are you going to move past things that hurt you if you're not comfortable having the uncomfortable conversations? Like, those uncomfortable conversations need to be had. They are mandatory. They are detrimental. If you do not have them, then you're going to break a relationship that you really wanted to keep or that God wanted you to keep. And that's even more important. Like, I can't stress that enough. You have to have those uncomfortable conversations. I have to have those uncomfortable conversations. There are people that I need to have an uncomfortable conversation with. I just don't know when I'm gonna do it, but God gonna tell me when to do it. I will say that I have had an uncomfortable conversation with one close friend of mine. I love her to death. One close friend of mine, like we we've been friends for over 10 years. We've been friends since 2015, but like some other friendships, we fell out. But anytime we fell out, we always come back and we have the conversation. Well, this happened and that happened, and it made me feel this way, and it did that, and that's why I stopped talking to you. And that friend will be like, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't know it made you feel that way." Or she'll be like, "I already knew," and this, that, and the third, and vice versa. I do the same thing. When something bothers her and she tells me, I immediately like go into, okay, how can I fix this? I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. I didn't want that to happen. Like, I didn't want to make you feel that way. It just was this, that, and the third, but I sincerely do apologize. And then we make up, kiss, and go on. Not literally kiss, but we make up and go on with our days. Like, that's my girl. I actually need to call and check on her because it's been a while. It's been a while. But I be checking her location. My girl always at school, okay? Yeah. Girlfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend. But yeah. Let's see what else. Accountability. And I'm glad I chose all of this because all of these topics really tie in with each other because with maturity comes communication. With communication comes accountability. You cannot have communication or good, well, you can have communication, but you can't have good, effective communication without accountability. Like I just said, me and my friend, we actually say, well, you did this, that, and third, and we acknowledge what we did. But if somebody is deflecting from what they did, or they're saying like, oh, well, you did this and that and the third, and that's why I did this, that's not taking accountability. You have to take accountability for what you said or what you did and acknowledge that it hurt them and how it hurt them. Because if you acknowledge that it hurt them, but you don't know how, this that's not accountability. You're not understanding. You're not comprehending what they're saying actually bothered them. You're not getting the principle, the value of what you did or what you said that actually hurt their feelings or actually bothers them. You get what I'm saying? So taking accountability is going to take like some really, really, really good maturity and really strong maturity, because you can't move forward if you don't take that, like if you don't take that heavily. Like, don't take it lightly, because you take it lightly, they're gonna lightly walk they away from you. Okay? And y'all, I'm working on cussing, so that's why I be doing it. Like I'm working on cussing, so I be trying not to say the word, but sometimes the words still be popping up in my head. So it be like, girl, you can't say that, just skip over it. Like, okay. But yeah, don't take it lightly. Take that heavily with a heavy, like on a heavy sleeve. If you truly, really do care about the relationship that you have with that person, definitely don't take that lightly. Like, not one bit. Do not take that lightly. Take what they're saying, take it into consideration, acknowledge how it made them feel. Because I'm pretty sure that even if you've done some things to them and it hurt their feelings or it made them feel some type of way, I'm pretty sure they've done the same thing to you. And basically, you wouldn't want them to brush off what you're saying. You wouldn't want them to take that lightly when you explain them what they did to you to hurt your feelings. And then it goes back to when you were a kid. What they always tell us: treat others the way you want to be treated. You want to be treated like a piece of, then treat them like a piece of, and watch what happens. They're gonna treat you like a piece of. Me, I'm not gonna treat you like that. I'm gonna get out your way. Cause my tit for tat days, my tit for tat days are over. My petty days, over. My arguing days, over. I got time for that. I got too much going on to be sitting there going back and forth with you, to be trying to make you mad or make you sad, stuff like that. Now I ain't gonna lie. I used to live for that. You make me mad, okay, let's do it. Let's see who can go blow for blow. Let's see. Because it's like I wanted to do that, but with certain people in certain relationships, I love you so much that I don't want to do that. But since you think it's a game, let me show you how it really gets done. Okay? Because you thought you ate when you really threw up. Okay? But anyway, they're my old days. As Big Boogie say. As Big Boogie said, they're my old days. So I don't do that no more, because if I do that, I'm not gonna get in trouble with you. I'm not worried about you. You another pillar of dust, just like me. I'm not worried about you. I'm gonna get in trouble with somebody who's greater than me and you. And that's who I don't want to get in trouble with. That's who I don't want to disappoint. That's who I don't want to take their hands off me. Okay? So to stay in God's good graces and stay in his obedience and his alignment for me, I just remove myself from all of those equations now. But that comes with maturity because I didn't know any better, so I wasn't doing better. Like, y'all see how everything ties into one another, like how it ties in together? Because I didn't know I was going to hurt you. And then back then, if we're arguing, long as I make you madder than me, my job was done. You get what I'm saying? You messed up. You shouldn't have did that. But it's done now. It's done now. Once I made you madder than me, argument over. Argument done. I'm finna go have me a drink. I'm finna go have me either a lemon drop or a watermelon margarita and eat me a taco or a chicken wing. And baby, I'm just as fine. Knowing I hurt your feelings. But it's not me no more. I can't do that no more. I cannot do that no more. I just simply have to remove myself now. So yeah. Now y'all, let's talk about setting boundaries. Okay. A lot of people lack boundaries. And I will absolutely say that was absolutely me. Like I didn't really set boundaries. Like a lot of things that I've done in life were not because I wanted to do them. It's because somebody else wanted me to do them and I wanted to make them happy. Like, dang, I say like a lot. That's okay. Cause like but y'all, learning to set boundaries. I was one of those people that I wanted everybody around me to be happy. I didn't want conflict. I didn't want this, that, and the third. Because if I truly had a conflict with somebody, you have literally been poking me over and over and over and over and over and over, and I've reached a breaking point. Like I see a lot of posts that say you think things are sweet, but really every time you do something, I'm taking mental notes. And that's literally me. Like I literally always take mental notes of everything. Like I said, building a Rico case because your girl was building a case. Like, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing, but it's noted. You did that? I ain't gonna say nothing, but it's noted. Okay. So I'm learning to set those boundaries with everyone around me. Honestly, anybody who comes into my life, I'm learning to set those boundaries because I was a people pleaser, and everybody that was around me really took advantage of that. Like because my heart was so big and I was so loving, and I wanted people around me. I wanted to feel wanted. I wanted to feel valued by the people around me. When really, them people would treat me like a piece of, and I was too blind to see it. Cause it was like you'll do some messed up, like you'll do some stuff, but then you'll turn around and do something sweet. So it's like you're straddling the fence. Which one are you gonna do? Do you want to love me or do you want to hate me? But in the end, I actually realized that people they didn't love me or they didn't hate me. They were just there. Like they just wanted my presence, my energy around them. Because a lot of people told me, like a lot of new people that are in my circle now, they actually tell me there's something about you that people actually hate. And they hate it because it's not on them, or they hate it because it's not within them. But I didn't understand it at first, but now I actually get it because it's not my fault that I was chosen by God. Like a lot of people are called, but few people are chosen. A lot of people are called, but very few people are chosen. And I can't help that God actually chose me to actually do his will and do what he told me to do. And he put this bright light on me and this shining energy on me. Like, I can't help that. I'm just being me. In every situation that I've ever been in, I go in and just genuinely do me. And doing me is like making sure you're good, checking your mental state, making sure you ate. If you need anything, I got you. Especially if I call you a friend or if I really genuinely care about you, I'm going to make sure you're good as best. I'm going to make sure you're good as best as I can. Like, that's just me. If you needed a shirt and you didn't have a shirt and we like this, I'm gonna give you the shirt off my back and I'm just gonna walk around in this sports bra. But that's just me. And then a lot of people actually took advantage of that, which I didn't really see because I was just like, okay, these are my people. These are like the people that I've known for the longest. And the people that you've known for the longest be the main ones that take advantage of you and slap you in your face. Not literally. Not literally. But y'all get what I'm saying? Like they are the literally the main ones that will block everything for you. And because they're blocking it, because you still have them in your circle, you're not seeing it, God's not going to bless you until you get them away from you. So I will say that anytime that someone says the removal prayer from God, you better be ready. You better be ready. Okay? Because if you're not, it's going to hurt and it's going to hurt for a really long time. Okay? Because I was praying that prayer for a very long time and people kept getting, he did a Rico sweep for real. People kept going. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this person is gone. This person is gone. And then I would say that with them leaving too, I'm a person like if you let me go without hearing from you or talking to you, that's when I start to evaluate. That's when I start to replay moments in my head or situations and things that happened in my head. And I'm just like, okay, so this person actually does not give a single fuck about me. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why God removed them because I was too loving to actually see what was going on and I was too blinded by my actual like care for them and like thinking that they were for me and God's like no. I don't even say that God would say that they're using me because I don't think anybody used me. Like anybody that I've ever encountered, what I gave you, you actually needed that. Like the love I gave you, the loyalty I gave you, the care that I gave you, you actually needed that more than I needed it. And that's why God brought me into your life to like brought me into their life and showed them that because they probably were asking for things like that, but they didn't know what to do with it. But yeah, that's another topic for another day. But anyway, how do you cut people off? When do you know it's time? So the way that I cut people off, it really depends on who you are and depends on the circumstances. Because certain things, I will just stop talking to you. But if it's like certain circumstances, I'll just stop talking to you. 9 times out of 10, I just stop talking to people. Lately, I've actually been learning to actually tell people what they've done that made me stop talking to them because you don't know unless somebody tells you. But then you have some people who are fully aware of their actions and they just don't care. They're just doing it because they want to do it because they're a fucked up individual. You get what I'm saying? So it's like people like that. I don't explain nothing to them. You're just gone. I'm done. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Okay. But people like that, you just done. But I used to do that to a lot of people. Like literally would just ghost people and just go on about my day. Like I will say that I recently did that to somebody, but I care. But at the same time, my peace and my sanity and my relationship is more important than my relationship with you. And that's just that on that. Like I care more about how God sees me and how God provisions me and positions me in my life to actually sit there and go back and forth and have an explanation with you, especially since it's not the first time. Especially if it's not the first time, excuse me, y'all. If it's not the first time, especially, oh, no remorse. You're cut. I'm done. You're no. No. And then I will say that learning to cut people off, you don't have to cut people off for the little small things. Like discern who you can talk to. And that's why I'm so grateful that God has actually brought me back into his graces because he has given me such good discernment with people. Like I know who I can and can't talk to. And sometimes I still try to talk to people to give them a bit of an explanation as to, what transpired or what happened. But some people still can't comprehend it. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and continue to go back and forth with you because I only have one child that I need to explain life to. And her name is Ava, not anybody else. Only one child. He gave me one disciple to take care of and raise in a kingdom manner. That's it. That's all. The only other thing that I have to do here is spread his word to everybody else. How they take it is how they take it. How they perceive it is how they perceive it. If they choose to go with it and get closer to God, amen. That is my whole entire purpose. That is my goal. That is my aim here on this earth. Get you closer to God so that you are closer to the kingdom gates when it's time for you to go back to Him. If you don't perceive it that way, this is not for you. And that's fine. You're not there yet. And you may not ever be there. And that's fine too, because I'm not the one that actually has to judge you on Judgment Day. So, hey, but yeah. But at the same time, even if my lifestyle is not for you now, like before your girl, I was outside, okay? Let's just say I was outside. We'll go deep into it another time, but your girl was outside because now I live a certain lifestyle where I can't be outside like that anymore because I'm called to do something higher. Like, okay, you've done that. That was fun. That was the enemy's work on you. So you had that fun. I'm gonna let you go and do that. But now it's time to come over here and sit with me and get closer to me and actually live the life that you so badly desire, so badly that you want, a life of peace, love, and happiness. You can only get that from God. You can't get that from drugs, alcohol, partying, shaking your on top of tables like I was. Yes, I was on top of tables, on top of couches, shaking it, throwing it in a circle. Okay, it didn't come from there. It didn't come from there. But that's another topic for another day. But I said that to say, like, just because I am on this journey now, like, if you're still doing that, that's fine with me. Like, I was there. I can't judge you because I'm not the one that has to judge you on Judgment Day. You get what I'm saying? So if you're there, that is completely fine. Do you have your fun? Do it. But I just can't do it. But at the same time, don't try and downplay what I'm doing now because I'm not there anymore. Because that gets you cut off. Sorry, not sorry. Anybody that diminishes God in my life or tries to diminish God in any way, shape, or form in my life, that's an automatic cutoff. And I'm not explaining that to you because you're obviously not there. You're obviously not going to understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it. So yeah, that's an automatic cutoff for me. That's an automatic no. In my life right now, that's an automatic no. That's always been an automatic no for me anyway. Even when I was doing those things, like even though I was doing those things, I was still praying. But to downplay it in my life now, or then, or at all, that's an automatic no. That's an automatic cut. Like, okay. So let's touch back on communication. We're gonna talk about taking ghosting personal and actually being the first to contact someone. I will say that I have actually lost a lot of people because I was the only one contacting people. Like I would always do mental checkups on people in my life. I still do mental checkups on people in my life. If you are in my circle, I am going to check on your well-being. The way you're feeling matters to me because the way I feel matters to other people. The way that we all feel matters to God. Okay. So if you're in my circle, I always do mental checks on people. And those people who do mental checks on me, I love you so freaking much. Like I love you. I love you. I just love you because a lot of people they forget like people who are always checking on others are having a strong forefront, like a strong shield. We hurt too. Like we go through some things too. And so if somebody actually takes the time to actually check on me, I really take that to the heart and I actually take a mental note of that because it's like you actually took the time out of your day to actually check on me. But that's really my circle now. All of them basically hit me up at random. Hey, I'm just checking on you. See, you ain't been talking to us. You've been on social media just posting your work and this, that, and the third. they peep that and they're like, I'm just making sure you're okay. So I will say that. But I did also lose a lot of people who were not checking on me, who did not speak to me first or anything like that. If I was the one that's always initiating the conversation or initiating us getting together, something like that, I actually did an experiment on that and I actually stopped doing that for like 2 or 3 months. Like I stopped checking on people. There were so many people who I hadn't heard from, and I still ain't heard from them. And guess what? That's just God's way of saying, okay, you're gonna do that experiment. This is my way of politely removing them out of your way. So yeah, I don't take it personal. I care, but it's like I don't give a. You get what I'm saying? And I know some people be like, "How you care, but you don't give up?" Like I really do be caring about stuff, but at the same time, I don't give up. Like it can come and go. Everything comes and goes. The only thing that's gonna be with me forever is God. Like, and the more people understand that, the better they will be in life. Like the happier they will be in life. Like nothing is forever. Nothing is going to stick with you forever. When you leave this earth, you are going to be a pillar of dust, and you're either going to heaven or hell. Choose ye which one you will go to. Okay, but that's not my place. But yeah, I used to take that personal, being the first to reach out to people. I used to. Now I don't necessarily take that so personal because it's like, okay, you might got stuff going on, this, that, and the third, but at the same time, I have stuff going on too, and I'm still making the effort to reach out to you to make sure that you're okay and make sure that your well being is okay. So if you can't do that same thing for me, you're not the person for me. So I actually lost a few people in response to that, and then sometimes I still do that at random too, just at random, even though life be life. I know who's there for me and who's not there for me. Because the people that are here with me now, they've been here for years. And they've remained the same for years. Like they came in with that caring heart, that genuineness, that love, that value of having me around. And I value everybody that values me, literally. Like if you value me being in your life, I definitely value you being in mine because you bring some additive to mine to actually like enhance me, and that in turn lets me be an additive to enhance you too. Cause like they be doing, I don't really like doing this. I like the snap one. I really like poetry, y'all. So I like snapping. But I for the people who like this, clock it. Yeah. For the poets, yeah. So being the first to contact somebody, I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that. I'll do it, but then I'll take a break and see who actually reaches out to me. You don't reach out to me, I don't reach out to you. And that just means we're not in alignment. And that's just that on that. It says, do you take ghosting personal? I actually feel like I just went over there. I can't take ghosting personal because I do the same thing. And then I feel like if you ghost me, that's for the betterment of yourself. Okay, y'all. So we having some technical difficulties. I can't take ghosting personal because it's the reason that you ghosted me. And if somebody's ghosted me and they going out their way to do whatever they want to do to just leave me alone, then that's completely fine with me because obviously that's what's in God's plan. So I will say I used to take it personal though. Like I used to take it personal, but you also wouldn't hear from me. Like you want to ghost me? Okay, cool, but you hurt my little feelings, but okay, do you? So that's how I feel about that now, y'all. I keep losing my train of thought because we keep running out of storage. Like I keep going from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 16 because it's vlogs on both of them. So it's like I gotta hurry up and get the vlogs out. So if you're new here and you don't already subscribe to my channel with me and Ava, it's called Life with Avah Vicky, and I actually put the link to that profile in the description too, so that y'all can go watch the videos too. Because we be having the time, and yeah, your girls be laughing it up, and we just be living life. That way, y'all can actually see how I live my life versus just me talking about it. Okay, but that's gonna wrap up these topics for the week because I actually don't want to run out of storage again because they just took up like 10 minutes of my time to actually clear out both of these phones a little bit. So we're gonna wrap up with our little note for the week. So if you are actually new here, last week I said that we are actually doing a segment called Little Note for the Week, where I actually use sermons from my Instagram page, Positivity Propaganda, and I actually break down what they mean to me and how I apply it to my life. Okay. So, little note for this week, no matter what you do or how you treat people, they're going to be who they are regardless. It's up to you to see it clearly or be blind by who they could be. Don't be blinded by the potential of what you see in people. You can motivate them, but it's up to them to make the decision. People will show you exactly who they are. Believe them the very first time. Okay? So, with that basically saying, we basically just talked about that, but I'll break it down a little bit more. People are going to be exactly who they are. You cannot change anybody. Okay. The only people that can change are people who want to change themselves. Don't sit there and stress yourself out trying to make them do this and that and see the value in you or like do things this way or that way for you or like how you think they should do it so that they can live a better life. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. Okay. Even God can't make them do it. He gave all of us the choice of free will. So if that's what you want to do, then He's going to let you do it. And then He actually has a scripture about letting you break your own heart, like letting you make your own choices so that you can see how it is. And actually, for me, I've actually done that for a very long time. Like I've lived my life for me and not for God. And I actually paid the repercussions of that. Like I paid the consequences of that. Like in the last episode, I said, if you don't listen, you're going to suffer. And my God, your girl was, oh, your girl was suffering before, okay? Suffering, wallowing in, yeah. So just let people be them and don't give them multiple chances to show you exactly who they are, because if you let them show you one time, they're going to continue to do that. If you let them get away with it one time, or if you let them slide, they're going to get away with it again. They're going to think they can get away with it again. You get them some ice skates, baby, they're going to skate all over you. Okay? Yeah. So they think they slick, let them be slick, but let them be slick on their oil by themselves. Okay? Because even though that they're doing what they're doing, He's not touched them yet. If He's touched you and you're still around them, you can't do anything about that. Only thing you can do is be you, try to help them or like give them some motivation. But if they don't do it, if they don't take heed to it, you're just talking to a brick wall. You're wasting your time. So, hey, don't let nothing slide because then they're going to ice skate all over you, okay? Take it from me because a lot of people ice skated all over me, okay? But I don't necessarily think people ice skated over me. I think it was a lesson because, yeah, it was a lesson. I don't take L's. I don't take losses. I used to think I took failures and losses and stuff like that, but every time that I failed was a lesson for me to learn from. And I'm actually in the process of replaying or revisiting those memories of things that have actually hurt me that I would have considered a loss or L. I'm actually revisiting those and seeing what lessons did I learn from that, or what lessons was I supposed to learn from that, and actually learning them now. Okay, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Oh, y'all, I want to start like answering y'all questions or giving y'all advice or like whatever y'all want. So I want to add a segment called Tea Time, and basically, well, I am going to add a segment called Tea Time. So Tea Time is basically where y'all can send emails to lmtalks with two s's at gmail.com, and I will actually go through them and actually read a couple and answer a couple questions on them. Excuse me. Answer questions, give advice, or how I perceive certain information, or how I would maneuver through certain situations, or how God tells me to maneuver through certain situations. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to send, just send it there. And again, it's lmtalks at gmail.com. That's going to be our actual tea time. And that's when we are actually going to be sipping our little tea. Okay? I actually need some honey for my tea this week. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. So tea time is gonna be that. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode of LMT with Vicky P. See y'all next week. Bye y'all.